How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday at Parx. How are you today, Terry?
Good, and you?
Good. I have a different view today because I have a different camera working today because I was doing a little bit of work outside the house and could not get the other camera to work again. And right now my internet signal is close to zero. So hopefully it doesn't go out. Everything technologically works well, Terry.
Oh, you look good.
Yeah, well, every now and then, a dog has its day, right? The looking last night, guy who's having a rough day, is not necessarily because of anything bad happening to him. I mean, obviously a horse fell on him, but Deshaun Parker joining us last night for another fabulous interview. Deshaun is one of the easiest people to talk to.
Yeah, he was fun. Yeah, I enjoyed him.
If you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, you can watch it right here on Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, follow us on our social sites. You see them scrolling down there below. Horse Race the number 2 day, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. A lot of great stuff on all of those social sites. Compliments of our Swiss Army Sean. You don't want to miss any of that content. And of course, over at the mothership, horseracingtoday.net, where you can find all sorts of content as well, and a recap of the show when the shows are done. Yesterday, Terry, kind of a iffy day over there. I knew that back end of it was going to be tough. That's why I stayed away from that pick 4. But I think I turned a small profit, but nothing really to brag about. So let's see if we have something to brag about today at Parx. Terry, what do you say?
I think we should go for it.
All right. But before we go for that, tonight, I'll be back with Sean again this evening. We're going to bring in somebody new. We're going to introduce you to Robert Schultzman from Designated Hitters Racing. Smaller barn of folks that got together as a team to get some horses, trying to take on the big boys. So it should be pretty interesting. So if you have any thoughts at all about possibly being a part of a team or a collaborative that owns horses, make sure you tune in tonight at 8 p.m. You're not going to want to miss that because he'll give us a lot of insights, the do's and don'ts, according to that. Up trophy, yellow, smiling. Yes, indeed. Well, we got a little. I mean, I got the participation trophy yesterday, Christopher. I mean, when I grew up, there was no such thing as participation trophies. How about you, Terry?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You got participation trophies?
Yeah, we did. We have them. Yeah.
I never got them. I got performance trophies. Either I performed and I got a trophy, or I didn't perform and I didn't get jack squat. All right, so let's get performing today on our horse racing picks. Terry, in race number 1 at Ben Salem, Pennsylvania. I know they are thinking there could be a little bit of weather there today, so I'm not sure if it'll rain in the afternoon or not because some of the later turf races have also eligibles and main track only entrants unscratched yet, so that could impact the outcome, I think, of race 10, right?
That's right, number 10. Anyway, this race here is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a $7,500 claiming race with a purse of $23,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races. Pretty simple.
Yeah, I like when you don't need an abacus to decipher the conditions. At 1 mile and 70 yards, the bias does favor early speed, 30 out of 100, taking them from gate to wire. You do get a little bit of a rail bonus. So load up Mo might outrun its 8-1 odds just off that rail positioning. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out, get a little bit of a ding, Terry. So inside speed, we do around here simulations, 1,000 simulations using speed figures. And then from that, we determine how many times out of 1,000 that horse wins a race. And then we convert those to odds to see if we can find some value. So we're looking for simulation odds that are lower than the morning line odds. Of course, lower than post-time odds is really ideal. We also do that for early pace to see who's going to be the likely leader at the quarter-mile marker, and then C-Zone, something you can, all of this you can only get here at Horse Racing Radar TV. But C-Zone is exclusive to us, where it measures the likelihood that a horse is going to get a pace it's comfortable with, hence C-Zone. Terry, what does the data spell out to you?
Well, the 3 and the 5 show the most early speed, and if they push each other, that too with the next speed, maybe set right behind them and do pretty well. The overlay is the 2, where it's even money and it's like 8 to 5 on the morning line. And then on the C zones, you have the 1, 4, and 5, with the 1 and the 4 having the best seasons.
Buenos tardes para tu. I think that's right. Jose as well. We appreciate that. Where are you coming in from, Jose? Are you from Venezuela? Where are you coming in from? We get a lot of people from Venezuela, right, Terry?
That's right.
And Turkey. And we get a few from other places in Latin America too. Let's see. Been on vacation. Let's see. We got a couple of picks right here. Finger Lakes, race number 1 to 2. Race number 1, number 2, race 6, number 2, race 8, number 6 for Christopher D'Souza, folks. Christopher's on his game, so you want to mark those down and take a look at those. JT Brew coming out on vacation. Good to roll. Good to have you back. Hope you enjoyed that vacation. Parx double, race 1, the 4, Tweeny Shot Pass, and race number 2, 3, Pelican Patty. Sim odds of 5 to 1 are even, actually less than even money. It's a 0.051 would be 1 to 2, because even money would be 1 to 1. So hopefully that explains that. We go through also, along with our pace and our simulations, we do the pace handicapping here as well. You can see 1, 2, and 3, the inside 3 horses. They want to be on the lead. E, those are pilots. EPs can pilot or co-pilot. Ps are co-pilots. PCs are versatile horses. They can really be anywhere on the plane, from the front to the back. They can actually stewardess, probably more like stewardesses, right? The ones that go from front to back. The C are your closers. They sit and coach. NC means the horse has not been within 5 lengths of the leader in its most recent up to 10 races. Looking at the early speed, the 1, 2, or 3. If you're backing one of those, you want them to show some giddy up and go. Oof. And really only the 3 horse is in that mix. So the other ones might be a little bit discouraged. Late speed belongs to the 1 horse. So if it can be close to the front, has some late speed, a little bit of a mixed up horse there. Total pace for your total pace handicappers. We Be There is not the first one. That is the last one, because I put it upside down. Singing Through the Storm grades out 4 points better than everybody else. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And We Be There kind of maybe not in the mix at all from a pace handicapping standpoint, Terry. But what about from your handicapping?
Well, I like the 2 Singing Through the Storm. He likes Parx Racing. He's finished in the money 50% of his starts and won 17% of the races. He likes the distance. He's finished in the money 50% of the starts and won 30% of those races. Has a high percentage winning jockey. The 3 Ouch, 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 second choice. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best turn speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse. Number 4 is my 3rd pick. He has a high percentage winning trainer and the 2nd highest prime power number. Number 1, Load Up Mole. He's my long shot. He has a high percentage winning trainer. The rail post winning at 18% clip, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. I'm going to play a $2 daily double. I'm going to use the 2 with the 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9.
So you, Christopher D'Souza, says that Thistledown, race 5, the number 6, in race 8, the number 7, and Parx 1, he likes the 2 to win with the 2-1 exacta box. Terry doing the $2 double, stepping out big time on that. Terry mentioned something real quick, the prime number. That's a Brisnet. We use a Brisnet past performances here, and you'll see here they do have a prime power number. That's their own in-house algorithm that ranks the horses. Obviously, the lower the number, the better in that respect. So that's what we use. We don't get paid to mention them. We should. I've reached out to them. Unfortunately, we haven't heard back because there's a lot of things I'd like to be able to do with their data and present it to people. Race 1, I'm going to go Singing Through the Storm 2. So I guess it's unanimous on that 2 horse, folks. So you might want to look at some of the other 6. Did run the top last race speed figure. That was at this level last out. But the fractions were a little on the dull side, to be honest with you. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't really hype that one. Number 3, Ouch, Ouch, Ouch. Could be forwardly placed. Steps up in class. I think a small cutback in distance is going to be useful for Ouch, Ouch, Ouch. Dadashev. Probably a stretch putting him in the 3rd spot here, Terry, but he's been facing winning company in a lot of key races lately, like Masrur, who was an easy winner yesterday, that 5 horse that won by like 20 lengths. Then finally, Charles, his horse there, Tweeny Knot. 2nd best C-Zone, lone PC horse in here, but at Parx, tried it 4 times and hasn't gotten anything done just yet. All right, so race number 1, they're just about to run, Terry. Let's see how that plays out in there.
All right.
It was JT Bruce, excuse me, 4-horse there. All right. So you can hear Jessica Paquette in my ear telling me what's happening at Parx. We're loading in for race number 1. While they load in, Terry, today, if you're going to do any wagering over at FanDuel Sports Park, is one we expect that we should do pretty well in today, is the free track at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below. In race number 1 at 2 p.m. Eastern, Burrow at 8-5 looks like a best bet early on. Again, the link down in the description below here on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you'll find that information. Kindly use that link so that they know where you're coming from. All right, Terry, you ready to hopefully see what happens in race number 1?
Yes, I am. It looks like Emil likes the number 4.
T-Winot Pass. So looking at it right now, you have the 2 and the 3 as co-favorites at 2-1, and the 4-horse in there too. Tweeny Not Pass. I know the 4-horse rated out high when I went through the quantitative, just the pure numbers part. But then I looked at the qualitative, the human analysis, and the horse has not really run well at Parx. So I kind of downgraded it off of that. So I'm probably going to put it in the winner's circle for doing that, Terry.
Well, I'm hoping the 2 wins this one.
At a double, at a 2-1, that's not bad. You're going to get $6 up top or more.
But I've been really cold with this double. We're there for a while. I was hitting it almost every day. So.
All right. Well, let's see if they can get all these horses in here or not. They don't want to come in. And by the way, we want to wish LeBron James. I don't know if you heard his son, Bronny, had a cardiac arrest. I think they got to get down to the bottom of why all these young kids and athletes all of a sudden are getting these weird arrhythmic events.
Yep.
I shan't say why because I don't want to be called a denier. But the 6-horse, Dag Nabbit, got off to a Dag Nabbit start. And the 2-horse, the one that's singing through the storm, has taken to the lead with the 3-horse, Ouch, 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 to its outside. Kind of really ran the 3 up the track a little bit through the first turn there. On the inside, you do have the 5-horse, I think. That is the Dadashev. And then, that's actually the 6-horse. That can't be the 6-horse. Did he rush all the way up in there? I don't know. These people, I'm using the screen to see what's going on. So they go through the opening quarter in 24-3. I don't get the luxury of Jessica Paquette's binoculars. All I know is load up Mo. That 1-horse is way, way, way back there. The 3-horse has taken its lead. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Move to the front. The 2-horse remains on the rail as the second place horse. I do think the 5 is in between horses. Dadashev looks like he's running well. But they're all bunched up except for the 1. To the extreme outside, trying to make a move right now is the 7-horse. We Be There. It looks to me like right now the horse that's moving the best is the 3-horse and the 2-horse. They really haven't asked for anything. I don't know that they're going to change much. Maybe that 5-horse is going to try to make a move, Dadashev. The 2-horse has emerged now to take the lead over the 3 on the inside, but they're still kind of duking it out a little bit. The 5-horse on the outside, the jockey's trying to get him to switch leads, but it doesn't look like the horse really wants to cooperate. See if he does, but he is starting to make a move now, Dadashev. Can he find his way into the winner's circle? I don't know. The 4-horse is going to screw me up altogether up in here. That's what's going to happen, Terry. Come on with this 5-horse. Come home at 30-1. Come on with this 5-horse at 30-1. Oh, at the end, it goes 4, 5, and 7, Terry. I told you I was going to put the 4 into the winner's circle by discounting it.
Wow, yeah, you did. And that the one guy said he wanted it. He liked it. So
yeah, JT Brew all over that 4-horse there.
That's right.
In an interesting opener right there, because speed really didn't hold up. Everybody kind of waddled home, if you ask me, right?
That's right. Yeah, they did.
See, Emil liked the 4-horse too in there. I'm already standing in the coup to collect that, right, Emil? We like that. Mountaineer race number 1, and race number 5, number 1. So Christopher liking the ones tonight out in West Virginia. Actually, I did have the 4-horse ranked up there pretty high, Terry, but did downgrade him off of the
I had him 3rd. So
well, I had him rated actually higher when I first did the math, but all right, hey, I'll take it. A W is a W, JT. That's what we're in this game for. W's, right? There's no such thing as moral victories having a 30-1 finish second unless you had the 4 in your top pick, right?
That's right.
And you did the exacta. Okay, let's move on to race number 2. Mr. Terry, take us through the particulars in the second race of the day.
All right. And race number 2, it's a 7 furlong, $5,000 claiming race for fillies and mares 3 years old and upward, which have not won a race since January 25th.
Again, pretty easy conditions at 7 furlongs. Pretty easy to understand the bias. Tactical speed does well, so you don't necessarily want to be on the lead, but if you are, 31% of the time you'll finish on the lead. Strong inside 3 bias, and then from 4 and out, 4 performs better than 5, better than 6, and so forth. So the closer you are to the rail, but 1 through 3 is best, Terry. So in race number 2, we're looking for a little bit of inside speed, and maybe a little bit in there, but it looks like the fastest of all actually is named after a rocket.
That's right. BB's Rocket, the number 8, has the most speed, and the 3 has a pretty nice overlay. It goes from even money on the simulated odds to 4-1 on the morning line. The 7 goes to almost double, is 7-2 versus 6-1 on the morning line. And the C zones have the 5, 6, 7, and 9 have the group best C zone numbers.
Yeah, all dark green in there for sure. So they should get trips that fit them pretty well. Our pace handicapping, looking for race number 2. You have an interesting shape here, Terry. It looks kind of balanced. The 9 and the 4, those two, the pilot, co-pilot types. 4 being a lone EP, so it doesn't have to be on the lead, but if the pace is too slow, could be on the lead. So you want them horses to be up front. The 4 horse should be right where it wants to be. The 9 horse, what a beaut, might want the lead, but if it gets out there, it might burn because it's got pace numbers that are way below the top 3. As far as the late speed is concerned, because we did see some closing action right there kind of do pretty well. Advocate Harbor hanging in there with the top late pace. We look at those 3, the 2, 3, 7, Terry, 10 points better than the next group of horses. So if any of these 3 are close coming out of the turn, it could be very difficult to hold them off. Top pace, total pace, looks Pecan Patty, scoring a little bit better than BB's Rocket and Advocate Harbor. A little bit of a drop off from there, Terry. The 2 horse so far hasn't been within 5 lengths, so maybe today's the day that one shows up at a little bit of a price. What do you say?
I like Pecan Patty. The 3 as my first pick, has finished in the money in her last 4 races, winning 2 of those races. And she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Has a really good winning, high percentage winning jockey. BB's Rocket, the 8's my second choice, finished 3rd versus similar in her last 2 races actually. Drops in class today, and the distance won't be a problem. Mercy, the 4 is my 3rd pick. She takes a major drop in class and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 5, Juliet's Music, is my long shot. She has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 33% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint, and she can improve at the shorter distance. I'm going to play an exacta. I'm going to use the 3 in an exacta key box, and I'm going to use the 3 with the 4, 5, and 8. And then I'm going to do a straight exacta of $1 with the 3 on top with the 4, 5, 8.
So exacta key with the 3.
Yeah. Well,
looking at that first race, you have the particulars. The 4 horse, the winner, paid $620. Not bad. Congratulations to all those 4 backers there. Where else can you turn $2 into $620? And then Dadvishev, that long shot coming in, paid $21 to finish second in there. And the exacta, if you played it 4-5 for $2, you walked away with $143. That's
wow.
You gotta like that, right?
Yeah.
In the second race, I like the 3 horse too. Pecan Patty, I guess Peppermint Patty. That was one of my favorite Charlie Brown characters. But who can beat Charlie Brown or Snoopy? Dropping in class after running the top last race speed figure. Better across the board in terms of its internal pace numbers last out, and upping the speed figure 2 races in a row. So trending absolutely in the right direction. Mercy Me, a little Marvin Gaye right there. Sizable drop in class. I think this one should be near the front as the lone EP horse in the field. Assume Control, a little better early last out. And I think there's some more hope for improvement in today's spot. And finally, BB's Rocket in the money. 6 out of 8 races at this distance. Terry did show some better pace through the first half mile. And in the second race off the layoff, I did kind of look back, and it's a mixed bag for that. So it may be a little bit better, maybe backs off a little bit in this spot. I did say at the top of the show, it's trifecta Tuesday. So I'm going to do trifectas all the way through the same way. I'm going to go my top 3 picks over my top 5 picks over my top 3 picks. So 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 over the 3, 4, 6. You know, all those numbers, Terry, for 50 cents only add up to $9.
That's right.
Yeah. It doesn't that kind of surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, me too. So number 8 to win for Christopher D'Souza with the 856 trifecta box. We appreciate comments. We appreciate likes because they help us with the Google and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all of those companies' algorithms when you search on their sites for horse racing stuff. Race number 3, Terry, they're going to stay the same at 1 mile and 70 yards.
Yeah, that's right. They are 1 mile and 70 yards, with a claiming price $25,000. Purse is $28,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Again, 1 mile and 70 yards. Quick recap does favor early speed, particularly in the inside 3, 4, and does better than 5, and so forth. So the closer you are to the rail, to the better. Be a little bit quick, Terry. Again, in race number 3, our simulations show that we do have a fast inside horse there.
That's right, the 2, but the 5 shows more speed, according to our simulation. The 7 has a overlay of pretty nice. It's supposed to be like 3 to 5, 2 to 5, and it's listed at 5 to 2 on the morning line. All of them, but the 2 and the 3 have some decent C-zone numbers.
Yeah, beyond the best, the 7 horse, check this out. You got the 2 to 5, 5 to 2 morning line odds. You have odds here that say the horse should be closer to maybe 1 to 5 is simulated odds. That's how frequently out of 1,000 it won the race, and has the top C-zone score. That 7 horse, a lot of things pointing in its direction. And looking at the pace handicapping scenario, the 4 and the 7 want to be on the front. The 2 and the 5, they want to pressure. The 1's a PC type. So everybody should be, when they come out of the gates, approximately where they want to be. The Sesame Street horse, the one that doesn't look like any others here, is the 1 Grand Pick. Got to be careful with that, Terry. Don't misplace an R. Could be a whole completely different scenario. Early speed, you got a pretty good advantage to that 5 horse there, Titanium Wreckage. So maybe gets up in front of that 4 and the 7 and discourages those 2. Late speed belongs to the 7, Beyond Best. So if that one can indeed get on the front, could be very difficult to catch what you can't pass. And then finally, the total pace numbers look like Beyond the Best and Grand Pick. They grade out with Titanium Wreckage just a touch better than the next 4 horses in the field, Terry. Be careful with that 7, Terry.
Yeah, I like the 7 Beyond Best, that late runner. He has the highest last speed rating. His best start speed is fast among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning jock. The 1 Grand Pick, second choice, won his last race at Delaware Park, switches to high percentage winning jockey, and he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 26% of the races when he ships a horse into race. And number 4, Laytown, is my 3rd pick, won his last race at Parx Racing easily and has a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 14 days have been in the money 3 out of 5 starts with 2 wins. Number 5, Titanium. Yeah, Titanium Wreckage. He's my long shot. Won his last race at Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a trifecta, 50 cent, 147 with a 17 with a 12457.
So JT Brew going back to race number 2. Going to do a pick 4, 3, singling up that 3. Pecan Patty with the 7-8, Beyond Best, and Batuta de Oro with the 3-8 and the next leg, and then going all in race number 5. It's always a good feeling when you get to that last leg and you have all, and then the favorite wins at like 3 to 5, right? And it just drives you bananas because you feel like you did your work and you're trying to get a price in the end, and then it doesn't come out. The funniest thing ever was when we were doing Turfway Park and Charles went all, and then like the 2 to 5 won. Anyway, I got the 7 as well, Beyond Best, big time simulation favorite, as you see on the screen right now with the top C-zone. You got to like that combo. Did run the top last race speed figure as well. Going to drop a bit in class here, and ran a little bit better fractions last time out. A lot of arrows pointing towards the winner's circle for Beyond Best. Laytown, big maiden claiming win last out with significant improvement in the back half of the race. I'm looking for that momentum to continue here. Grand Pick, again, careful. Very consistent performer in this field, Terry. When you look at his past work, not a lot of variance, what they say, high floor, low ceiling. But Paco Lopez is going to ride today, and that guy wins just about every race that he rides at Parx. And then Batuta de Oro, running at the lowest level of his career. And you look at those speed numbers, they might be some of the best in this bunch altogether. 147, 14578, 147 trifecta for me. I'm going to be pretty persistent with those trifectas today, hoping to catch a couple of nice ones on the day there, Terry.
All right.
So race number 5 is actually one of my top turf plays today with the long shot number 5, Genghis. I'll be all over him with the big money. All right, let's hope that one comes through for you too. It would be Christopher D'Souza. He's got his pick 4 as well. He's going to go 8-6. So you both can't win. And then he's got the singling up to 7 in that race, in the race that we just did, race number 3, Beyond Best. And then in this race coming up, race 4, he's got the 1-2, Crypt, It's Game Time. And then the 2-3 in race number 5. But before we get to race number 5, Terry, we do things in numerical order. What about race 4?
All right. So race 4, let me pop up here, is a 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a $15,000 claiming race with a $30,000 purse. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 25th. Claiming races for $12,500 or less not considered, or
Again,
which has ever won 4 races.
3rd race in a row at 1 mile and 70 yards, early speed on the inside, better than on the outside, Terry. So according to that, the track bias says in race number 4, we want some inside speed. It's kind of balanced early on. Only the 1-horse Crypt looks like it might not get to the lead.
That's right. You're right about that. Let's see. I got to get back to where I was at. Okay. The 4 and the 3 have the most speed, but the 4 has plenty of speed. All of them show some speed, but 4 has the most. The 2 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be less than even money. It's like 4-5, and it's 5-1 on the morning line. Almost all of them have, the 4 has the most, and then Seed Zone, and then the 6 is next.
Yeah, you're looking at that 4, the Scared Rider in there. Does have a lot of early pace, does have that Seed Zone score, maybe a candidate for a price in the back half of your exactas and trifectas. If trifectas, I don't know what a trifecta is. This race shape looks like it should favor the horses that get to the front because most of them want to be middle back. So if the 2 or the 6 were to score that early lead there, they may not. The 4-horse, the Lone PC, that might be the one that gets to the front. Going to get some company from some horses in the back here, the 8 and the 7. So you got a couple of left arrow horses with Senior Investment and Causalistic. Late speed, if you want to take the closers, Fast Bob might not be fast in the beginning, but he'll be fast at the end. And when you put the total pace together, Fast Bob, Brett's World, It's Game Time, they're darkest green. But all the way down to Crypt and Sacred Rider, it looks like any one of those horses really has a shot to win. So race 4, from a pace standpoint, Terry, looks like can be a little bit wide open, yet we agree on the first 3 in order.
That's right. I like number 2, It's Game Time. He's won 2 races in a row, so he's going for a hat trick and has the highest last race speed rating, has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 3, Brett's World. My second choice, finished 3rd in his last race, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Senior Investment, the 8 is my 3rd pick, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best third speed is fastest among today's starters. The 7 is my long shot. He has finished in the money in 5 out of 8 starts at Parx Racing, and 1 has a win there and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 2-3-8 with the 1-3-8 with the 3-5 with the 1-2-3-7.
And for me, again, we got the same 3. I got It's Game Time, winner to winner, wire to wire, last time out at this level, tied for the top last race speed figure, and does have some pretty good workouts between races. Brett's World, we got that dynamic duo at Parx of Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera. If you look through its past performances, it's just quality start after quality start after quality start. Good works between races say we're likely to get another quality start today. Senior investment, as I noted when we went through the pace, is a left arrow horse. Again, left arrow horses are those horses that usually want to be middle back, but the early pace that they have, normal, no extra gas at all, should put them closer to the front than usual. And if you notice, a lot of times those long shots that tend to come home, they tend to be horses that are usually in the back and then all of a sudden move forward. Maybe the 8 horse can get that done today. It did improve its final 1 mile, 70-yard time last out by about a second. That's also a hint that the horse is improving. And then Sacred Rider, that one could be your pace setter in here, drops in class today and then catches a little bit of a weight break. So I like speed horses that carry a few less pounds. It seems to help them. When we talk to jockeys, they say too, they feel like it helps speed horses a little bit more than closers. It has that strong early pace C-zone combo. Trifecta 238, 23468 over to 238 for me in race number 4. Into the 5th race we go, Mr. Terry. What do we got?
All right. In the 5th race, it's a mile and 16th on the turf. It's claiming $15,000 claiming price with a $30,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 25th. Or which have never won 4 races.
All right. So I have, in terms of a mile and a 16th, the profile of a winner. You have just 3 races so far. Closers have done all the work, and the post positions, not enough of them really to make a difference of it, but it does look like just in the early going, you want closers, Terry, at the distance and surface. But if you're looking for speed, Terry, it sure looks like that 5 horse, the one that JT Bruce says he's going to bank on today. It's going to be the one they all have to pass at some point.
That's right. He shows the most speed, but the 8 could give some trouble there. And then as far as the overlay, that 2 is going to be even money simulated odds, but it's 6-1 on the morning line, and the 3 is almost 2-1, and it's 5-1 on the morning line. All of them have good C-zone numbers except for the 3 and the 8.
And then our pace set up for this long one. Again, we want to focus on race number 5, probably the horses with some late speed. Although looking at it, ET's Magic might have a tactical advantage over the rest of the field as your lone EP, one that wants to typically be in front of the pack. It should get that pace if it wants it, but it might not have the early speed to do it. Sound the Charge, the 6 horse and Genghis. Those 2 should be the ones that set the tone early on, both of which would designate left arrow horses. Late speed belongs to the 3 horse. Olympic Romp, good advantage over the next closest one. So Olympic Romp, if it's not that far off the pacing, it probably won't be looking at the early speed figures. Should be able to make up more than a length on the rest of the field coming down the stretch, because every 5 points equals about 1 length. Olympic Romp and Genghis, they score 7 points better than Yes Sir Colonel. So I wouldn't be shocked to see JT's Bruce Genghis find the winner circle, Terry. Would you?
No, I like, although I like the 3 Olympic Romp as my top pick. Returns to the turf where he has done well in the past. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance and switches to a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 14 days has finished in the money out of 7 out of 9 starts, won 3 of those starts. City Rage, the 8, is my second choice, drops in class today, best dirt speed, is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 31% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route to a sprint. The 1 is my third pick. He finished in the money in 4 out of 5 starts at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Sound the Charge. The 6 is my long shot. He finished in the money in 3 out of 5 starts at Parx Racing. He won 2 of those and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a dollar exacta key with the 3 on 3 and then 1-8.
I also like the 3-8, Terry. I think you were in my computer today, last night. Olympic Round, first off the claim for trainer Michael Pino, does 25% winner. He got a good eye for those horses. And then, of course, he's going to go ahead and throw Paco on there, which should give the horse the best chance to win. Number 8, City Rage. Again, we got that dynamic duo of Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. And when you look for turf pedigree, this one might have the best pedigree of the bunch for the grass. ET's Magic Man, was that Sesame Street horse, the one that didn't look like any others, is the lone EP versus a field that wants to be middle back. This is absolutely the right distance for ET Magic Man. Ran 5 times, won 3 of them, ran off the board in the other 2, but tried 7 times to run at other lengths and didn't score once. Yes, sir. Colonel was a tough trip for me, to be honest, over that 5-horse Genghis. But the lone trip on the grass and the off-turf record suggests this one is running on the right surface, finally being turf. I do have the 5 in my trifecta, 3, 8, 10 with the 2, 3, 5, 8, and 10 with the 3, 8, and 10.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to do race 6 now, Terry. I think we got enough time to probably get 2 races in before the next race kicks
Yeah, we'll
off.
have to see what we can do. It's a mile and 16th, $7,500 claiming race, $21,000 purse for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races. Pretty simple.
Again, yes. In the mile and a 16th on the dirt, they haven't run very many of them, but what they've done so far does favor tactical speed. So maybe 3rd, 2nd, 4th, somewhere in that area is the prime spot to win. But if you're on the lead, again, you have a pretty good chance to find the winner's circle. 31% of the time, they go wire to wire. We do see that the inside 3 get a bonus, as does 8 and out. 4 through 7 gets squeezed a little bit, so maybe it gets shuffled somehow in that positioning with that turn coming up right away. As far as the early speed goes, Terry, it looks like the 3 and the 4 are going to duke it out when the gates open, but all of them have some chance to be on the front.
That's right. That 4 shows the most speed. If it can get a good break, it should get to the quarter pole first. As far as the overlays go, the 1 has a pretty nice overlay, 7-2 versus 6-1. The 2 is supposed to be around 5-2 simulated odds. It's listed at 6-1 on the morning line. And the 3 has a small little overlay. It's like 8-5. It's going to be 2-1 on the morning line. All of them but the 3 have C-zone numbers.
Yes, indeed. And then our pace setup, because that race looks to me like, Terry, could be pretty competitive. Everybody wants to be, should be where they want to be. The 1, 4, and 5, that trio wants to be forwardly placed. So they might not get there. So you only see do you see any of the 4-horse might be the closest to the front. So maybe the 4 takes the lead. The 6-horse is your pressure horse, Running Joke. And it can be on the lead if it wants. I don't think it'll probably take the lead. It might let the 4 take the lead and sit right off it, along with the 3 as your lone PC. So I think early on, you'll see it go something like 4, 6, 3 with the 1 and 5 giving chase to kind of keep the pace there. Late speed, Let It Flow. Joe with the most late speed. Some of the best early speed. Could be very difficult to get by that horse today, Terry, with that strong total pace 6-point advantage over Southern Runner, the 4-horse in there. And then you have Kane coming in 3rd and a nice drop off from there. So this race from a pace standpoint, from an early speed standpoint, from a late pace standpoint, sure does point to the 3-horse.
That's right. And I like that 3-horse, Let It Flow Joe. He won his last race at Parx Racing easily and has his highest last race speed rating. Circle Me Madden, the 5 was my second choice. He tried turf in his last race at Parx Racing. He didn't take to it very well and now returns to dirt where he's won a race easily last time and has a high percentage winning trainer. Exclusive Order, the 2 is my next 3rd pick. He finished 2nd in his last race. His best dirt speed's fastest among today's starters, and he has a really good jockey. And then the 4, Southern Runner, is my long shot. Finished 3rd in his last race. I have no bets in this race.
So Christopher D'Souza doing the cardinal sin of sins, changing his mind. He's going to go with the 1-horse, Mr. Einstein, as his best bet of the day. That is the cardinal sin of horse racing. Pecan Patty should win by about 3 lengths in this upcoming race, race number 2. We'll get back to the number 2 picks in just a moment here. I like in race number 6 as my top selection, Let It Flow Joe, as we mentioned, going through the pace and all that stuff. Does look like it has a lot of advantages in this field. Some robust late pace numbers at times and should be close to the front with this group. Exclusive Order, the 2-horse resume says second off the layoff, could equal a major step forward today. Number 5, Circle Me Madden. Been off some smay, going to drop in class. The key for Circle Me Madden is to get to the lead. If he does, look out. I don't know that he'll get the lead today. Number 6, Running Joke. Don't feel like anything separates the next 3 horses in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the highest odds. Trifecta 2, 3, 5 over the 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 over the 2, 3, and 5. Race 2 is about to get going, Terry. So here are our picks. Again, JT Brew all over Pecan Patty says should win by at least 3 lengths. According to the bettors in race number 2, it looks like they think the 3-horse is your favorite at 2-1, Terry. which is not a very hot favorite. I mean, it is the favorite, but I wouldn't call that necessarily a ringing endorsement from the bettors.
Nope.
All right. And then one quick thing, too, while we're have a minute here, in the description in our for the show here on YouTube as well, over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere we are. Julie Jacobs, big part of our show with the Horse Center every other week with Sean, her husband. Andre got injured on July the 15th. There's a GoFundMe link in the description below. I'm going to challenge everybody today. Pick one of your races today. And if that race hits, donate some of those proceeds to the link down below. Help the family, help horse racing, help the community, help Andre and Julie make sure that things go well for the family in the next couple of weeks as he rehabs. All right, Terry, in race number 2, they're still kind of walking around to get to the front there. Again, quick reminder, over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet today, the free track of the day is FanDuel. When we went through the handicapping, it does look like the card is, I don't want to say predictable, but I'm going to say predictable. I think there's a good shot that we'll get a lot of horses right there.
Sounds good. Yeah. Hey, and listen, if you like what you see here, which I know you will, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell so that you're notified every time we have a show. We have shows all during the week, at night, and during the mornings. Also, go to our social sites such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and Twitter at Horseshoe, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a likes. Let all your people know. Go back, if you're on YouTube, go down to the bottom and hit share. Copy that link and paste it to your social sites and send it out to your friends and neighbors.
Yeah, it's Horse Race Today. Horse Race, the number 2 day.
Is that what I said?
You said Horseshoe. I wish we can get Horseshoe as the URL. That would make it a little bit easier. I should look it up and see if we can get it. When you said it, I was like, wait, maybe we should see if we can get that. That would be it'd be easy to remember instead of Horse Race, the number 2 day. Horse Race.
I'm probably thinking about the Indiana track that's off this week. So.
All right, so they're all lined up. The 3 horse is your slight favorite at 5. Well, actually, not the favorite now. The 4 horse, Mercy Me, the Marvin Gaye horse, moving into the favorite status. Then the 8 horse, the one that Christopher D'Souza says keep your eye out. That one's 7-1. And it looks like it's the only one that's left to go in is the 9 horse. And then after that, they should be getting up and going. Did the 9 horse get its way into there yet, Terry? Nope. It just settles into the gate right now. All 9 are loaded. Just waiting for the assistant there to get into his place. Get the 9's horse head straight. Wow, that was quick. I don't think the 9 got a pretty good break on that. I don't think it was ready to go. So if you got the 9, your work could be cut out for you. The 4 horse, Mercy, has taken to the front. You have the 2 horse on the rail, Advocate Harbor, as your second place horse. Now it looks to me like the 3 horse has decided to get involved and moving up pretty aggressively to the outside. And now, tough to tell who's on the lead because you really can't see with the without my glasses. But the 5 horse, Juliet's Music, has taken control. Opening quarter in 23-2. As they head into the turn, they're all kind of bunched up except for the 1 horse, which is way, way back there. Second race in a row, the way 1 horse got way, way back. JB's Billy. That one I think is probably out of contention. The 5 horse continues to lead the way. The 4 on the rail. The 8 horse that we were told to keep an eye out there from Christopher D'Souza, trying to make a move. 5 horses kind of fanning up the track a little bit, opened the door for the 4 horse to squeak its nose through there to get back on the lead. The 8 horse now running in between the 5 and the 6 with a little bit of a big gap there, firmly taking a hold of second place. And then on the rail, you got the 2 horse, Terry, looking like it's going to get involved. The 9 horse, the one that got off to the awful start, is making a move here at the end, Terry. That's a pretty impressive run from that 9 horse, considering the bad break that it got to get started. The 1 horse that was way, way back there is at the 7. No, the 7 is going to scream in for second. So it's going to be 4, 8, and 7. 4, 8, and 7. And if you look at that 7, Terry, it's probably one we shouldn't have missed in the back end of our trifectas because Tonala, 6-1 morning line, 3-1 or 7-2 simulation odds, somewhere in between there. And one of the strongest C-zone scores for Tonala, one that we should not have overlooked. So you
Yeah.
got the 4, the 8, and then the 7. And that 7 made a crazy rally, wiggling around everybody, Terry. I don't know what happened to the 3 horse. Just didn't show up, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he just didn't know. He broke really kind of bad, but
Yeah, I don't even see him like in the screen. There he is. He's trying to rally at the end on the outside. All right. There you go. That is race number 2 in the books. Kind of a goofy day so far, right?
yeah.
Think the track distance back to 7 furlongs will benefit the 9 horse in the race that we just had, Patrick. He did kind of come. I mean, what a Butte got just a terrible start because his head had not really been turned yet. And the assistant inside the gate there looked like he was still holding on the reins to me and got off to a rough start. So I think maybe if that horse had a little bit cleaner break, would have been more effective in there, right?
That's right.
Christopher D'Souza should have put a nice little place bet on that 8 horse. Okay, let's move forward to race number 7 now, Terry, right?
That's right. Let's
right.
do it.
We got 11 horses races today. That's a big card today. But race number 7, what's going to happen?
6 furlongs. It's optional claiming. Claiming price would be $16,000 if you elect that go that way, and a purse $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less, which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $16,000, and which have never won 2 races.
And in race number 7 for 6 furlongs, it does favor tactical speed, 37%. So a big number do go wire to wire. Post positions, they're pretty fair. You get a little bit of a bonus if you get the 8s or higher. In the 7th spot, Terry, as we take a look at the simulations, we do have horses that make it to the outside, a 10-horse field, Terry, and there is a little bit of outside speed, Muttley, but it's going to have to pass a couple on the inside to get to the front.
That's right. The 1 and the 2 in the inside have plenty of speed. Actually shows a little bit more speed than that 8. And then the 3 is an overlay of a little small from 5-1 to 6-1. The 7's a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 4-5, and it's listed at 5-1 in the morning line. All of them, but the 3, 6, and 9 have pretty decent C-zone numbers.
Yeah, I felt like when I was handicapping this race, it was really wide open. Looking at the pace handicapping sheet, once again, this is you got the one that doesn't look like the other with Indy Bound, that 2 horse. A lot of times these horses that sit behind the speed and are in front of the whole pack of closers, they don't have to run too fast. It gives them a tactical in-race advantage. The 1, 8, and 10 want the lead. It looks like the 1 and 8 will absolutely compete for the lead, with Muttley having a little bit of a more early speed, but with the 1 and the 2 to the inside might make it difficult for it to clear. So clearing is going to be a key for Muttley. As they come down the stretch, 3 Pete, the 5 horse of all those closers, does have the most late speed, but could be 4, 5, 6, 7 lengths off the lead. Maybe not enough of a late pace advantage to make up all of that ground. Harley's Charlie looks like, of the closers, that and Texas Ted and Clash AJ, that trio looks like they have enough late speed and enough early speed to contend at the end. Harley's Charlie, the top total pace horse, a little bit of a gap down to the Muttley horse, but does look like if you want to play total pace, Harley's Charlie is the way to go, Terry, and it's the way we both went.
Yeah, I like Harley's Charlie, the 7. He finished in the money. In his last 3 starts, he ran second versus Simmer in his last race. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Has the highest speed favorite today's distance. Indy Bound, the 2 is my second pick. He should improve while returning to his sprint and has a high percentage trainer. Texas Ted is my third pick, the 3. He won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Little JP is my long shot at the 1. He finished third versus Simmer in his last race. His early speed style will help his chances, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. No bet for me in this race.
Yeah, again, I felt like this race is pretty much wide open. I think you see that reflected in the morning line odds that the favorite Indy Bound is 3-5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, not 3-5, 7-2. So it's a pretty wide open race. Harley's Charlie did run the top last race. Speed figure last out. It is our simulated favorite here with a strong C zone. In the last race, the race internals were better from the beginning to the end. It does like the distance too, 4 times. A little concerned that it might like to hang at the end of the race, though, because 1 win in 3 seconds. Clash AJ, the 6 horse. This one is a Naira track dropper coming in from the New York circuit. The top ones, Belmont Aqueduct. I don't know if it ran at Saratoga or not. Has some pretty good workouts, including a bullet, getting prepped for its Parx debut. Number 3, Texas Ted up the speed figure in the last 2 races in a row. Paco Lopez is going to try to make it 3 in a row. But this horse is yet to win a race, Terry. Did get DQ'd into the maiden claiming win last out. Finally, number 8, Muttley has an early pace advantage. Weight break with Sofia Vives should help that early speed. Maybe it helps it get by the 1 and the 2. I expect more off the horse in round 2 off the bench as well. Inbound for me was a really close call with that 8 horse because of that lone P status and between the speed and the closers, and does have a little bit early pace and nice C zone. This race is going to be one I think will be interesting to see who wins. 367 over to 2367 over to 367. Trifecta for me. I'm hoping to get 3 or 4 of those today, Terry. So far, close on the first 2, but nothing yet. Let's see if we can make magic in race number 8 and probably the shortest field of the day because of scratches, Terry. In race number 8, tell us what they're going to do, the few that are going to do it.
It's 6.5 furlongs, another optional claiming, and the $40,000 claiming price if you elect to do that. The purse $44,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $40,000 and which have never won 2 races.
So in race number 7, Christopher, you have play the C zone there, 4, 7, and 8 try box, but you like the 9 to win. Do you mean the 8 horse there instead of the 9 horse to win? Just want to make sure we're clear on that, right? Box Little JP with Texas Ted says Scary Creations in that last race, race number 7 for the 1 and the 3. I love horse racing because everybody's got their own ideas, right? And that's what makes it better than like playing sports betting, because in horse racing, as horse players know, you're playing against the other horse players. Whereas when you're playing blackjack or something along those lines, minus poker, you're playing against the house. And they just have a lot more money than you, and they can just wear you down, right?
That's right.
In race number 8, Terry, as far as the profile of a winner is concerned, 6.5 furlongs, again, favors early speed at Parx. No surprise there. 31 out of 100 will take them from go to photo. Inside 3 bias, 4 through 7 gets squeezed again, 8 and out, returns to fair. So inside or outside speed, there's really not an outside horse in here, Terry. So speed looks like Uncle Dar with everybody else scratching and maybe 90% Maddie.
That's right. You've got it right. You pegged it right on. There's no overlays that I can see, and they all have pretty decent C-zone numbers of the ones left.
Except for Capital Conquest. Could find itself in a race that makes the pace a little bit too quick for that one. 3, 6, and 7 want to be up on front. Are any of them going to actually have the lead? The 7, Uncle Dar, 4 points over Capital Conquest. So wouldn't be shocked to see those two go out to the front, with the 1 and the 8 sitting patiently behind. Although the 6 horse, the supposed speed horse in there, does have the most late speed, 13 points better than everybody else. It's a pretty big advantage, but could be as many as 4 lengths behind Uncle Dar. Again, 5 points equals 1 length. I don't know if it has enough late speed to make up all of those, but certainly will be making noise at the end. Capital Conquest scoring out as the top total pace horse. But again, just looking at the total pace figures, Terry, any one of these horses could win. So tell us why you think the 1 horse, 90% Maddie, will get the job done, aside from copying my picks.
Well, I think it's a wide open race. No, I don't. I like 90% Maddie. She finished 3rd in her last race as a favorite, but she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 35% of the starts when bringing back a beaten favorite. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. My pick of the day was scratched, so I went ahead and went with this one as a pick of the day. Anyway, number 7, Uncle Dar, is my second choice, finished in the money in his last race at Penn National and returns to Parx Racing, where he's finished 3 times out of 4 in the money and won one of those, has a high percentage winning jockey who's won 4 out of the last 9 races. Capital Conquest, the 3, switches to high percentage winning jockey Ruben Silveira, who has been his regular rider in the past when he won races. Only God Can Judge Me is a 6 by long shot. He won his last race at Parx Racing, has not raced for more than 8 months, but has several good workouts in a row, including 3 bullet workouts out of the last 4 workouts. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to play the 1 with the 4, 5, 6, and 8 an 11 with a 3, 5, 7, 9, and then single the 4. And I'm going to bet $20 to win on the 1.
I have 90% Maddie, that lone PC horse. All else want to be forward except for the 8 horse. So those two should sit right behind the speed and try to run by it. Uncle Dar might be the speed of the speed. That's what I like to see when a lot of horses get to the front. Gets a little bit of an advantage perhaps with a weight break today. Capital Conquest to 3, a very consistent performer in this group. And that last race, despite the finish, was better than it looks because the fractions at 6.5 furlongs were better than the race before when they only ran 6 furlongs. You go longer, you run faster, that's doubly fast. And then Professor Cool, decent work's getting set to return after 3 months off. I'm going to go ahead and take the lone closer here against everybody else who kind of wants to be middle forward. I don't know that it can win the race, but certainly I think has a shot to get up to second or third. Trifecta 137, 1367, one, which is actually all here, over to 137. This will be the one that I hit, and they'll pay like $2.50, Terry.
Yeah.
Right now, put 9 into it. That's never a good thing. He doesn't really see the way the 1 loses in race number 8. I think I'm going to play 10 straight exacta 1 with 6 and 5 exacta box with 1 and 6. There you go. And Scary Creations is absolutely correct. The house always wins out in Vegas, and we believe you, man, on that one for sure. I don't know how that is. Like I was in Vegas, not Vegas. I was out in Philadelphia. Race 8 for Christopher D'Souza, 167 try exacta box, hammering the C zones again. So I was playing at a casino out of Parx, little blackjack with my brother, and I had 20. And I think I lost on 26 consecutive times. And I don't know what the math is on that, but that has to be pretty bad. That's got to be like next to impossible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on 20 means the dealer's got to get 21 and you still lose. All right, race 9, Terry, 3 to go. What's going to go on in this one?
All right, this is 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race with a $25,000 claiming price, a $34,000 purse. And it's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 25th, or which have never won 4 races.
The Philadelphia Park, used to be Philadelphia Park, now Parx track. Bias for 6 furlongs does favor tactical speed, although early speed again a bunch. 37 out of 100 will never see the backside of another horse. Post positions are fairish 1 through 7, a little bit of an advantage if you are lucky enough to wear 8 or out. In race number 9, there are only, well, there were going to be 9 horses, so there will be one that gets 2 of them that get the 8 or out designation. Terry, outside speed might work. Looks like there's plenty of it on the outside.
There is. The 11 and the 8 show the most speed, and they're on the outside. And then you've got the 4 with an overlay, which is, it's 2 to 1. It doubles to like 4 to 1 on the morning line. They all have pretty darn good C zones except for the 2.
Yeah, that 3 horse got off to a pretty bad start in that race and really never fully recovered. Was trying to make a run down the end. So maybe next time out, bettors will overlook Pecan Patty and you'll get a little bit of odds on that one. That's having horses to watch can be a useful thing to do. Our pace setup for race number 9. Look at a pretty balanced race in here, Terry. You got 2 Sesame Street horses, the 11. She's a super freak. She's super freaky. And the 2 horse, ambitiously placed. Those 2 are lone, although the 1 and the 5 splitting them, they can go to the front or sit in that pressure spot. A lot of the horses have the field want to be middle back. So I think you're going to see a pretty competitive race here too, pace-wise, Terry. Early on, the 1 and the 11 have the most speed. But if you look, everybody but the 7 and 2 is pretty tightly wound there. That 11 on the outside is going to have its workout for it to cut to actually get to the front of the field and pass the class there and get down to the front. 7, Jezebel Jade, the closer, should be closing, should be right where it wants to be. But that lone P, ambitiously placed, if it can be in that stalking position with those late legs, could get the job done. Everybody but Aruma does have an ability at the end of the race. The total pace goes to She's a Super Freak, the Super Freaky, over Flashing Diamond and Miss Pepina. Again, though, all the way down to Rolls Royce Joyce. It looks like a pretty competitive 5 horses, maybe with a shot to win, Terry. Another wide open race, I think, in race number 9.
Yeah, it is wide open. That's why I use 5 of them. I picked 4. It's the 4 is my first pick. Our Funny Business drops a class today. Returning to a sprint will help her, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the races in the second race after he claims a horse. Number 8, Flashing Diamonds, second pick. has finished in the money in 23 races out of 29 starts in its career, winning 10 of those races, and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 5 is my third pick, finished third versus Tupper in her last race, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and switches a high percentage winning jockey. Number 11, she's a super freak, is the long shot for me. She has finished in the money in 2 out of her last 3 races. She won 1 of the races and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this combination in the last 14 days have been in the money. 6 out of 10 starts with 4 wins at 2 seconds. No bet for me, as I'm going to save what little I have left for the last race.
All right. In race number 9, I like the 5-horse Flashing Diamond. Again, wide open field. So might as well take a horse that likes Parx. Been on the track 29 times, won 10 of them, second place 11. So 21 out of 29, first or second. Does like the distance too, 27 times, 8 wins, 9 seconds, 3/3. Why not like a horse that likes the track and the distance? Miss Pepina did tie for the top last race speed figure and showed better fractions at 7 furlongs, considerably better than at 6.5 furlongs. This is something I learned from Charles. The cutback in distance, that slight cutback in distance, is going to help here today with Paco on board. She's a super freak. James Ambrose Johnson Jr., otherwise known as Rick James horse. Got the Ruben Silvera, Jamie Ness combination. Plenty of early juice here as the lone E horse. The question is the outside post, and can she clear that inside speed? If she does, look out. Finally, number 4, Our Funny Business. Lone trip at Parx did not go so well. Improving workouts at the track, though, suggest a better effort for a horse that track dropped into Parx last time out. Again, same structure for me, 5, 8, 11, 4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 5, 8, and 11 on my trifecta. Now, normally, Terry, at Parx, we'd be done today.
Yeah,
why did you not take the 7 Jezebel Jade? The horse is dropping last time, claiming level. It won by 11 on that 7 horse in that last race, race number 9. Why didn't I take the 7 horse? Race number 9, the Jezebel horse. Jezebel Jade. Yeah, I see right here. It is the drop in class. And then I think I did look at these drop in class in here. And one of the things I saw was that some of those pace numbers were down a little bit. I do like the fact that the late pace number picked up a little bit there on that horse. Has run well at Parx. It looks to me, though, a little bit like with that early speed kind of just dropping, especially since it cut back from 1 mile and 70 yards. When I was looking at it, I thought, and maybe I'm wrong on that, but I thought and I felt like it's a horse that looks like it needs some time off, which is why I kind of went away from it. But much like the 4 in the first race, Scary Creations, you brought it up. We didn't pick it, so you know where it's going to finish.
Yeah, that's true. For me, it was just so many horses in here. It was so wide open. It's really hard to separate them. So you got to pick 4. So
yeah, and also too, you're looking here. I mean, no matter what the level, the horse is usually pretty well back. So I just felt to me like it looks like the horse is a little bit tired, and that's why I kind of walked away from it a little bit. Although that late pace jump right there might show that it did find something at the end of the last race. Again, a pretty wide open race. I hope if you back it, that somehow we all win with it still somehow coming in, right? That heat or something. All right, Terry, 2 races to go. Normally we'd be done right now. Race number 10, they're going to go back to the grass.
They sure are. And there have been some scratches since we came on. I think I've caught them all. This is 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf, $25,000 priced, $34,000 purse for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 25th, or which have never won 4 races.
So it looks like Jose Rubio likes the 1 horse, Paco Lopez and Victor Barboza in race number. Was that race number 9? Just make sure I have Paco in race number 9 on the 1 horse. No. So what race is that for us? Can let us know which race you like for that. So we'd appreciate that. And then I agree with you. I don't know. I think it is a tough race. The only thing I know for sure is the 11 breaking on top in race number 9. I think he's going to try for the top, but with that 1 and a 2 on the inside, clearing for me was the question mark as to why I was a little bit concerned about that. All right. So 1 mile and 70 yards on the turf, Terry. You went through the particulars, right?
I did.
And then as far as a mile and 70 yards on the turf is concerned, it does tend to favor closers, although 50% of the time, horses that are forwardly placed in the 6 races have done okay. Only one of the 6 went wire to wire. So far, nobody's won from the rail. Starship Malamore might not like that. 2 and 3 and 8 and out have a little bit of a penalty. In this case, running 4, 5, 6, or 7 has been best, but only 6 horse races so far. Kind of hard to put a lot of stock in that limited set of data. Again, another race right here, Terry, that's pretty much wide open. A lot of them can get to the front, a few with some good simulation odds. What do you think? What can you glean from this?
Well, most of them show some speed, but the best ones are the 5, the 7, and the 9. And then the 7 has an overlay of 4 to 1, doubles to around 8 to 1 in the morning line. All of them have pretty decent C zones, except for the 3, 4, and 13.
And this is the race that we spoke about at the top of the show, where there were some still main track only horses in the race. And I don't know if they scratched them yet or not yet.
Yeah,
Terry.
they did. The 14 and the 15 were scratched, and I was able to get them off of there during the race. So I was glad that 14 was scratched because it scared me.
Could have factored in the race for sure.
Yeah.
Again, a wide open race in race number 10, much like the last 3 races yesterday. But when you look at the race shape, everything is kind of tilted towards the backside of the field here. The 2 and the 12 and the 6, those 3 should be forwardly placed. And if they do get forward, unfortunately, none of them except the 12 looks like it has the early speed to get there. That PC type, the versatile one, Amaturasao, that one is a potential left arrow horse along with the 5 in there. So those 2 could move forward today. And if either one of them has any late juice, they have a good shot at the end. Memento Me, 20 points better than the next one from the closing position, but going to be way behind. So definitely need to break a little better. That 100-point late pace figure, Terry, is stakes caliber stuff. They can figure out how to get this horse to get off to a little bit better start. Could make mincemeat of this field. Does have the second best total pace figure in here. Question is, with a deep field, way back, navigating traffic, can it get it done with that serious in-race advantage, Terry? What do you see happening?
Well, I like that number 7 horse, my first pick. She ran second versus similar on dirt in her last race and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 9 Instinctive is my second choice. She drops in class today, has won 4 races out of 5 starts at Parx Racing, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Novala, the 3 is my third pick. She has won her only start at Parx Racing and drops in class today. The 5, Aaron's Enthusiasm, has won her last start at Parx Racing by a whopping 13 lengths and has a high percentage winning jockey. And I'm not going to make any bets in this race at all.
So this race is this Beyond Best. What race are we talking about here? Christopher, look at Beyond Best and Mr. Einstein. I think Mr. Einstein was in race number 8. Where was Mr. Einstein at? That was back a little bit. Was that race number 3, Terry?
Let me look and see.
Anyway, let's also look at run the same day. Scary Creation says he likes the 3 horse. No, Vala. Kent Sweezy doesn't run many here. No, he doesn't. Won 4 turf races. Go ahead. What do you say, Terry?
That was the 5th race on that last comment.
All right, so 5th race for Mr. Beyond Best and Mr. Einstein. And the horse can still run. I think it will be tough. I agree. Ken Sweezy, too. I spent some time down at his barn at Palm Harbor. Really nice guy. Nice outfit down there if you have a chance to get down to outside Miami. And someone can bring you in and you can check out the Palm, I think it's called Palm Meadows, I think is what it's called, where they have a lot of training for the Florida tracks. Really, really, really nice setup down there. I like the 9 horse in here as my top pick in race number 10, Instinctive. On that Parx grass 5 times, won 4 of them. So clearly likes that. You put that horse anywhere else or any other distance, 4 wins in 29 tries. Absolutely 1,000% the quintessential horse for the Parx turf course. Amaturasao, 3rd after a layoff, 2nd grass go. Trainer Michael Pino winning 3 out of 8 times. He puts a horse on the grass the 2nd time. 3rd in its only lone turf trip so far. And the off-track record says that the turf should be a good fit for her. As was pointed out by Scary, Novala, class and track dropper for trainer Kent Sweezy. The one time it did run on the Parx turf, it won that race. And then finally, number 6, Kana Lamora, ran at the track, distance, and surface once, ran second in that race, was pretty close to the pace all the way around, and then got DQ'd into the win. I don't know it'll get DQ'd into the W today, but I'll take a second place out of the sixth since I have it in the middle of my trifecta. 379, 35679, 379, Terry. And now we get a bonus race today at Parx.
That's right.
Race number 11. What's the story here with the bonus race, Terry?
I don't know. Let's see what it is. It's let's see. It's a 5.5 furlongs claiming $10,000 claiming price, purse 27,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 25th or have which never won 4 races. And we've got I guess we're getting ready to start this third race.
Yes, race number 3 looks like they're loading in the gates. So let's rewind back to race number 3. Voila, there we go. Your favorite right now in the third race looks like the status of that one goes to the 1 horse, Grand Pick. Again, got to be careful. Looks like the 5 horse in there, Titanium Wreckage, acting up a little bit, delaying the start. They're all settled now, and off they go. Pretty clean start for everybody. The 4 horse Laytown did nose out the 2 horse to get to the lead. Rex Kwando, 4 horse breaking to the lead, staying on the lead, but to the outside of Rex Kwando is, I believe, the 6 horse. Now, he can't be the 6 horse. He scratched. It's got to be the 8 horse Batuta de Oro on the rail with the whoa. The 3 horse just pulled up. I don't know what happened there. Something funky happened right there with that 3 horse, Terry. He still wants to go, and the jockey's doing everything he can. I think the jockeys fell out of the irons. All right, now he's back into the irons on the 3 horse Fictional Fairy Tale. That was some pretty good riding there by the jockey, Jerry Lapita, keeping his horse in contention. If that horse wins, it'll be something they'll be talking about on Twitter today for sure. Laytown, the 4 horse, continues to be the pace setter to the inside. The 1 horse, Grand Pick, is running third now. In between horses, we have the 8 horse, Batuta de Oro. No, that's the 7 horse. I think I'm really screwing up those colors on the outside. Beyond Best, as they go through the opening half, and 48-3. Now that 5 horse is pulling back like he fell out of the irons. The 4 horse continues to be your pace setter. 4 with the 7. The 7 trying to make the move on the outside, but the jockey really hasn't asked the 4 to go yet. The 7 is being encouraged to get involved. I don't know that they're going to catch this 4 horse, Terry, today. It looks like it's going to go 4-7-1. Although the 1 horse on the rail, the jockey's kind of let up on him a little bit, but has like a 6-7 length lead over everybody else. So the 4 horse might get caught at the wire. I don't think so. 4-7-1. 4-7-1. I did finally get a trifecta in there, Terry, with the 4 horse going off at 6-1, the 7 horse at 8-5. So maybe I get at least enough money back to cover the first 3 races of trifecta.
Yeah, that might work out for you.
Hopefully, we'll find out. That does race number 3. Back to the bonus race here. Race number 10. Best bet of the day for Christopher D'Souza in the pre-bonus race. He likes the 8 horse. I think Slime Queen is not running, though, in that race.
No, Slime Cream is scratched today.
All right, so let's go off to race number 11. Again, we went through the particulars for race number 11, Terry. So let's now work our way through the profile of a winner at 5.5 furlongs. Tactical speed does well, much like 6 furlongs. About 30% go wire to wire. Inside 3 do get a bonus. And then 4 through 7 get squeezed. 8 and out, play fair. I think we have exactly 8 horses in here with 4 scratching today, Terry. Some of the speed is on the sidelines, so that should really benefit the 10 horse.
That's right. The 10 shows lots of speed compared to the rest of the horses. The 4 has an overlay of like 5-2 or a little over 5-2 to 9-2 on the morning line. The 9 shows an overlay of like 7-2 versus 6-1 on the morning line. The 4, 10, and 12 have the best C-zone numbers.
So I would mark down that horse, that 3 horse, Fictional Fairy Tale. On the program, it's going to look like the horse just rallied from behind if people don't read the comments. 23-1. The jockey lost the stirrups in there and came back to finish a nice 4th. So that might be one you want to add to your horse to watch list, because a little cleaner break, that one might have been there. Race number 10, the 5 horse for Christopher D'Souza. That is Aaron's Enthusiasm. Got a good shot to get to the lead. Decent C-zone score. Back to race number 11. Our friend Scary Creations likes the 2-horse in here. Cup of Life to go wire to wire. Trainer 32% first off the claim. That's a pretty big number. I think we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. Our pace set up for race number 11. If that 2, look at this race, Terry. Everybody wants to be on the front or on the lead, except for the 4 and the 6. They can get good trips in here, Terry. So if you want speed, you better take the speed of the speed. There's a lot of speed except for Fast Intentions in here, Terry. In this race, they're going to go after it when the gates open. That could favor horses that are a little bit off the pace with some closing ability. Look at that. The PC, Classy Sadie with the most late speed could get a great trip behind everybody, take advantage of that late speed. And then the total pace figure does go 6-point advantage to Classy Sadie, Terry. Oof. What do you think?
I like those. I like those PC horses. I like that 4 Classy Sadie. Almost put her as my pick of the day, although I picked the 1 in the 8th race. But anyway, the 4 Classy Sadie is finishing the money in 9 out of her last 10 starts, which means she really is very competitive. She won 3 of those, has the highest last speed rating, has a high percentage winning trainer. And then the 10 is my second pick. Finished 3rd versus similar on the turf in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then I like number 2, Cup of Life, as my 3rd pick. And she won her last race at Parx Racing. She has a high percentage winning trainer. The 9 is my long shot Fast Intention. She has won 5 races out of 20 starts at Parx Racing, and she switches a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play the rest of my money. I'm going to play a $1 exacta. I'm going to use the 4 on top with the 2, 4, 10. I'm sorry, with the 2, 9, 10.
2, 9, 10. All right, you're going to have to change that one for sure.
Yeah.
But looking at, for me, Classy Sadie, the lone PC horse, facing the rest that want to be forward, top total pace horse. I just feel like that horse is going to get an excellent trip. Does score out as the top C-zone horse left too. So our friend Christopher D'Souza probably going to like that one. And it's a closer too, right? So you're really checking off Christopher's boxes. Number 2, Cup of Life, blazed to the win last time out. Then it was claimed by trainer Angel Castillo Sanchez. That's an alpha angle because, as Scary Creations mentioned, 32% of the time makes that claim. So he's got a good eye for a horse that he wants to target for the next race, compared to 20% overall win rate. That's a substantial amount of alpha created by Mr. Castillo Sanchez. Episurian, Jamie Ness, Frankie Pennington, pretty good combination. They've won 5 out of 16 races together. This one's going to flip back from grass back to dirt. The last time it did kind of regress a little bit here, but is another one that I expect to be up near the front. We saw that in the pace figures, and also we see that here in our simulation. If it can clear everybody, could get to the front in a 5.5 furlong race. Might be difficult to run it down. If not, Fast Intentions will be right there too. Was a tough call over the 6-horse Gavinci for me, but this one does seem to like the shorter distance. 7 times out in these short sprints. Only 1 win, 4 seconds and a third. So that's 6 out of 7. That's a pretty good number. And then the last 3 times jockey Silvestre Gonzalez rode this horse, the horse has a win, a second, and a third. So in the money 100% of the time with Silvestre, the money 6 out of 7 in these short sprints. We'll give it a crack. I got the 50-cent trifecta, keeping with the trifecta theme on the terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday, 2, 4, 10, 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 2, 4, and 10. Here are our total picks for the day. Terry, for everything, I'm going to have to shrink the screen to get to race number 11 on there. And so you see them all. In race number 1, Terry, I don't remember who won race number 1 right now. Do you?
I can tell you real quick if you give me a minute. Yeah, number 1 was the 4-horse.
The 4-horse, yep, indeed. And then in race number 2, wasn't the 3. I think it was the...
I'm sorry, the 4-horse in race 2, and the race 1, it was the 4-horse. So it's 4, and then 4. 4, 4.
4, 4, and then in race number 3, it was the 4. So far, if you're one of those handicappers over at those tournaments, at horse tournaments, and to get in, if you played 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 all the way down, like we see a lot of times, you would be winning right now. Race number 11, Christopher D'Souza on the 4-horse, the closer. There's only 5.5. Not sure shorter is better for Classy Sadie. I think shorter is better for the number 2, Cup of Life. And then late daily double for Christopher D'Souza, $50. Going to go big, 5-4 on that straight up daily double of integrity.
All
Tomorrow, you'll be off tomorrow, Terry. A little bit of a break, but Charles will be back. We're going to do Saratoga. I think over on our social sites, you see scrolling down there below, there's a poll or a survey or a question at least. Is it Colonial Downs or Saratoga for Thursday? Head on over to our social sites, Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race today, and put your voice out there and let us know which track you want us to do on Thursday, Colonial or Saratoga. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and out of here on this terrific Terry Trifecta Tuesday?
Well, I just hope everybody has a great rest of the week. Stay cool and stay out of any of this rushing water that's happening in some of these states with the bad weather. Other than that, give your loved ones a hug and a kiss, and I hope you do well in everything you do this week.
Yeah, it's going to get hot around here too. It's supposed to be like almost 100 by the end of the week. So off to the beach we go. Me dog Peach to the beach. She loves to swim in Lake Michigan, and it'll feel good, that 70 or 60 degree water versus that 100 degree. Do Saratoga. All right, Scary. That's a vote there. We'll mark that one down. We're definitely going to do Saratoga tomorrow. We'll get cracking about 10 minutes before post, like always. Between here and there, again, don't forget to join myself and Sean tonight on Sports Center, 8 p.m. Oh, Sports Center. Horse Center at 8 p.m. If I was working at Sports Center, they would probably fired me like everybody else by now, Terry.
Or me saying horseshoe.
Yes, indeed. So, all right, until we see you again, certainly we hope. Do Saratoga. I hope you do Saratoga. All right, so it looks like Saratoga, so far it's unanimous. We did get one vote last night for Colonial. So we'll keep score and we'll do the winner there, Terry. But between here and there, before we get together tomorrow for sure for Saratoga or tonight with Sean, we certainly hope that you have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do between here and there ends up in the
winner's circle.
Again, thanks for spending your time with us today. We look forward to doing it again. Have a fantastic Tuesday.